Okay, with Robert James Harden Jr., Dimensions, The Interrogation is the short film played at the Action Fantasy Film Festival. I'm sure you've been asked this before, but I got to ask Robert James Harden Jr., there's a basketball player. I've heard of him. He also has a beard as well.
Right.
James Harden, any relation?
Yeah, he's my cousin.
He's your
No, I'm,
cousin?
I'm
I
kidding.
don't
No,
know,
no
like
relation.
no relation, but
But
then
I do get that a lot, but there's no relation. Not to my knowledge. I mean, you never know, right?
yeah.
Well,
But you do wear the beard like he does too, right? So
um, I actually don't follow sports,
okay.
so I'm not really sure how he wears his facial hair or anything else. I just know I get that question
Yeah. Well, because it's
often.
you
Yeah.
say Robert James, right? Robert James Harden. So yeah.
Yeah. But as far as I know, his first name is James, right?
Yeah,
It's not Robert.
you're not saying your name is Robert Harden, you're saying your name is Robert James Harden, right? So yeah.
Well, no, I'm using Robert J. Harden Jr.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you put James in the interview, so I just assumed you caught on to the J meaning James, and
Oh, I just
that's
know
what I
that's
was.
what I see on the on your film Freeway. It says directed by Robert James Harden Jr. I was gonna say junior to third, but you're not. I was that was another sports reference that you probably didn't get either. So basically, okay,
Yeah,
so
no,
let's talk about
the
Dimensions, the interrogation. Really great film, really beautiful lighting, beautiful acting. This is a really nicely put together short film. So tell me about the you also wrote it. Tell me about the seed of the screenplay because you call it Dimensions, the interrogation. Is there more Dimensions films?
yeah, right. So this is one of about five stories I've been producing uh for the last, I'd say, 6 years, and it's the first to be completed, and it's part of the Dimensions universe. I mean, as we all know, in this day and age, everybody's got a universe. You got the Marvel universe, you got the Star Wars universe. I was actually on Hulu looking at the Alien series, the trailer for that. They've got a universe. So um, I think it's a really good idea to if you're in the business of filmmaking and creating, create the universe. And so that's what I've been working on for a while now, and this is the first film to come to a completion. And primarily, I wanted to get a fan base started and start getting this idea out, because there is no like decade old or decades old source material for the idea. So yeah, this is one of five that are going to be coming out over the next couple of years. And then there's a whole list of characters and stories that support this little 8-minute introduction to
Cool.
this universe. So yeah.
Well, I wish you the best with that. So let's talk about this film in particular. It's really one location, just a beautiful lighting job. Let's start from there. Like, tell me about working with your cinematographer, doing your shot list. It's just like a really, because usually you kind of like you got the best out of the one location. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, so my cinematographer, his name is Dawit. He's originally from overseas. He's from Ethiopia. He did a lot of work in Europe, and he and I met in film school actually. And this is the second film I've worked with him on. We did class projects together, but the first major film we worked on was a film I produced. It was a period piece called Halfdan. It's a Viking film. And what I really just was amazed at his attention to detail when it comes to the pre-production slash development planning process. Delwood is really good at listening to the emotional variables as well as the mood and theme variables that the director and the producers are trying to work with to create the story. He did that with our first film. I've seen it. I saw him do it in so many other productions, and so with this contained space and this interrogation scene, I came to him and I really wanted this lighting that just immediately puts you into this emotional state of being uncomfortable and
Hmm.
kind of like you're in the hot seat, but it's dark.
Yeah.
I see a lot of interrogation scenes, and usually it's bright and or they've got like some kind of overlay of color to it, and everything's very open. But one of the things we discussed was having this kind of like focused intensity with the characters. And he had a lot of great ideas about how to make that happen. Visually, when it came to shot composition, I'm pretty good. Like when I get a hold of an emotional theme composition wise, I'm pretty good at you know boarding it out and knowing what I want. And we had really good communication with both of those perspectives coming together. And so yeah, I'm proud of it because I think
Yeah.
it really came together, and you feel it the moment it starts.
And
So
you're using like the kind of like the light in the scene, like the overhead kind of lamp light
right,
as your kind of main source of light, and then you're using it as like the kind of like it's when like light bulbs almost running out of steam,
yeah,
has that flickering, right? So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. We used you know practicals. We didn't really do any big rigging or light setups. Just the one lamp, and trying to think. We may have brought in uh, a smaller lamp every now and then for some fill, when we were in our
Yeah.
close-ups. But not that, at any given time, it wasn't any more than like a couple of lights going. And then the location, the other guy I worked with on this, his name is Scott Crawley. At the time, he had a really great space in Burbank. Um, he's also an educator and runs. Uh, oh gosh, what's the name? He runs Sharp Focus Creative,
Okay.
and so he had a really cool uh, like room. Just it was already painted black walls, and it was like almost like a soundstage in a way, without the sound padding, of course, but like just the way the space was set up and the way the
Mhm.
walls were painted, and it was great. It was perfect. So yeah.
You got it. And so, and then in terms of like, how do you prepare with your cinematographer? Do you have like a shot list? Do you storyboard things? Because there's a twist in the film, and you kind of like using lighting to kind of set up the twist and kind of camera movements. Like, tell me about kind of preparing. Like you said, your cinematographer loves pre-production, so tell me about kind of preparing for that.
hmm Well, I actually love the pre-production.
Yeah,
I
I'm
I
assuming you do too.
storyboard.
Yeah, yeah.
He's good. He's good at listening and working with it. He's more of a. Actually, I take that back. We had like one day where we came in and we kind of met. We took the boards and we did some blocking, and
So you storyboarded everything.
yeah, I
Okay.
storyboarded everything
Okay.
out, and then we had a day where we came in and blocked it out and looked at it with like a DSLR. Um, and but I'm pretty I'm a so I'm prior I'm a logistics guy. Like that's something I did with uh, another profession I work in, and so having some kind of plan when you go in is really important to me. I know that culturally, I come across a lot of filmmakers now that they don't like to plan so much, but I like to plan. I like to board it out. I like to have different options. And then once we get into production and we have a plan, if everything else is moving and in place the way it's supposed to, I feel like the getting through your day is a lot
Sure.
smoother. I mean, it's never smooth, right? But
Yeah.
you can tell the difference. I can tell the difference. And then I think it opens up room for off the cuff creativity too, which
Yeah.
is which he's really good at too. And what you're seeing in this piece is planned creativity with we're in the moment, the actors are doing their thing, and he's like, hey, why don't we A or B?
Yeah,
Well, we have the freedom to do that because I know for a fact that okay, I want one, two, three in regards to shots, and then yeah, I mean, when you get to post coverage, 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 I like having a lot of coverage. I don't like being locked into just a few different lanes of coverage.
gotcha.
So,
And then tell me about your cast because they were fantastic too. Obviously, then first of all, before you cast, I want to because you had some really great makeup and really great kind of setup with like with the sweating and like
yeah.
looks on the faces. And obviously, I don't know if you want to give up the twist, but in the twist, there's some great makeup as well. So tell me about the makeup person.
So Daniela Sanfilippo did was our makeup artist, and she's another professional I worked with on Half Dan. Just amazing energy, super creative, really good ideas. And the sweat was her idea, actually, because one of the things we talked about was that intensity. And, not only is this guy being grilled, right, but we imagined it being pretty warm in there
Yeah,
to add this level of discomfort for him. But then, as he's ranting and raving, it kind of it seeps over to the other guys as well. So the sweat, I have to give that all to her. That was her idea. Um, and just in general, what I asked of her was to have them look real. I wanted this to feel real and it looked realistic. And so I think she did a really good job of doing that. And then what was your other question? You said makeup, and then
yeah, just talking with and then like your cast, like setting up your cast.
oh, acting. Yeah, the acting. So when I casted this, it was during COVID. Well, it was like in that weird area of COVID where things were opening, but they were closing down, and like nobody knew what the fuck
That
was
happened
going
like five or
on.
six times.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It was madness, man. And I was on hiatus. I was actually finishing up the last bit of film school, but I had taken a break because the whole education system went to crap, right? So, but I wanted to keep creating stuff. So I was like, let me knock this out. Let me knock this little small film out, and then I'll get to some of the bigger stuff in a year or so, is what I was thinking. And so we did this casting call um, in Pasadena in Victory Park outside. We did the whole mask protocol, and um, I had Alita, and I had a casting assistant. Her name is Beverly Munduck, and those girls were amazing. Both women just came in, worked super, super hard to organize the location as well as organize all the list of actors that wanted to audition for the process. And I was floored actually because so many people were hungry for some action. They wanted to
Yeah.
work. And so surprisingly, I got a large amount of talent. And I mean, I was just really impressed with the lead, and then the gentleman that's in the blue shirt. I'll leave it at that. I don't want to do any
Yeah.
spoiler words,
Yeah.
but so there's a good cop, bad cop element to that. I guess we can say that without giving too much away for those who haven't seen the film.
Yeah.
And so your good cop came to the auditions, and both these guys, the main character and the good cop, it's one of those things, man. I don't know how long you've been making films, and I mean, you seem like you've got some solid experience on you and everything. Working in this industry, I think what I've learned is people tend to branch out and master other creative lanes, and so when you're doing that enough, there's just people you click with. You just know the synergies there, the talent's there, and then there's a genuine openness to listen, which in a director's chair, that's like the perfect equation to get lightning in a bottle.
Mhm.
And when those two auditioned, it was just automatic. It just automatically felt like that. Uh, the bad cop actually came on board when I had another actor that I didn't necessarily feel like lightning in the bottle with him
Yeah.
on this project because I had worked with him on another project and I had seen the lightning already. So I just kind of knew that he would have been a good fit. But unfortunately, some variables with COVID kept him from working the production. So, so I ended up talking to Scott Crawley and asking, did he want to do it? This is the gentleman that also runs Sharp Focus Creative,
Okay.
and I knew that he started in this industry first passion as an actor. But I hadn't really, and he's just a really passionate, genuine type of human. So I knew the emotional data was there, right? I knew he could emote, but it was a real short amount of time in which I had to find somebody. And so I just leaned on him and said, "Hey, do you want to give this a shot?" And he said, "Yeah, sure." And it, you know, the universe has a way of just bringing things together, and it worked out perfectly. I think he's a good contrast, emotional contrast to the other two
Yeah.
uh, in the scene. And so, um, yeah, that's the story about the actors, and they're all really great,
And then
great
you
performances.
edited and who is the editor of the film?
I did the edit too.
Yeah. So you
Yeah.
did the edit, and then you, like you said, you like coverage, and then it's a nice sound design too. Who did the sound design?
Yeah, so Jeremy, I'm going to say Jeremy K. He's in the credits. I don't want to butcher his last name.
Yeah.
Uh, Another gentleman I worked with on my Viking film, and uh, just again really good attention to detail. He knows his music. He knows like he's nuanced when it comes to sound
Yeah.
and sound development and everything. So I was lucky to have already kind of been in league with him, and yeah, I mean he killed it. He killed the sound, the
Yeah.
sound design, and then the score. Gonzalo is an original score. Gonzalo, I actually met through some mutual friends. We just like one day I was going over to my buddies to hang out, and I walk in the living room of the house they were renting at the time, and he's just sitting on the couch chilling, and we struck up a conversation, and before I knew it, it was like, yeah, I want to, it's like I'd love to work with you, and so he wrote the music and did the composition, and it's perfect. Everything's just worked out. It took a while to get this film um, completed, but for the amount of time it is, but it was all worth it. Everybody um, had a very unique uh, tone or voice and the music or the musical creation of what this small piece is, and I think it was well worth the wait and the work. I'm very happy with it. You know,
Yeah,
a lot
you
of
should
people like
be.
it when they see it, so
You should be
it's not
happy.
perfect, obviously, but it's it's watchable, right?
No,
So
it's like it's really like it's just you have a great team of people. It seems like it's like we talked about all these guys, people you worked on your film. It's like there's a solid team
yeah,
from post production all the way down to like working in pre. So yeah, it's like I think you're I think it's a great idea to kind of do like more of these kind of like micro shorts as like kind of an anthology series or whatever you want to do. So are you gonna when's your next film? When are you gonna make your next film?
Right. So the next film is called Dimensions, Who's Minding the Store. That's a full length film.
Oh,
Uh,
you're going right to the feature then.
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So I have a feature that's in the pipeline. It's in post production right now. I still have some pickup shots and a couple of scenes to shoot still, but it's pretty much 90% in the can, and it's got a lot of VFX on it. And so my VFX supervisor and I right now we just got done with editorial and we're just kind of like seeing by little banging it out, you know. So that project is in post, and then I've got three animations that I'm also working on.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, and so the idea is this film is doing its festival thing right now. It'll be in festivals through the end of 2026, and then by that time I'll have a couple of animations coming out too, just to kind of build up the world. And yeah, that full length film, I don't know when it's
Yeah.
gonna be
Okay.
complete because it's a beast. But
Sure is, yeah.
yeah, but like Kanye says, slow motion is better than no motion, and that's what it is. It's perpetual motion. Everything's moving forward. So
Yeah. It's always if you're moving forward, then you're not stagnant. Stagnant is the worst.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And yeah, yeah. So yeah, thanks for. I'm glad you guys like the film. And I think this is an amazing opportunity to get in and podcast. You're actually the first person that's wanted to you know, get on the record and have a conversation about the
Mm.
film. So I really appreciate that. That's
Yeah,
cool.
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, so you're doing the animation, and so you live in Los Angeles, you live in the LA area,
Yeah. Yeah. I live in California. I live in Los Angeles County.
born and raised.
No, born in Chicago,
Oh, really? Okay.
raised in Texas. But at this point, I think I've lived here now more than I did in Texas. So I think
Yeah,
officially now I'm a West Coast guy. I'm still Southern, but
yeah. That's like a triangle: Chicago, Texas, LA. It's good.
it's a very strong structure.
Yeah, it's a
So
nice little triangle.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I never thought about it like that, but yeah,
yeah.
you're right. It is a triangle. Interesting. Yeah.
That's good. So then, all right. So you're always working on projects. You got a good team. Like I said, it was just like a nice executed professional film. That's the best way I could describe it.
Well,
And
thanks.
you don't see the twist coming, right? You don't see it coming either, right?
Okay, great, great, great. Well,
Yeah.
that's exciting to hear. Growing up, I really some of my favorite stories were mysteries and like dramatic thrills and psychological thrills and things that that it's they're giving you breadcrumbs and you're thinking the breadcrumbs are going in one direction and then
Mhm.
what? Wow. And then okay, what's next? Those are some of my favorite types of
Yeah.
stories.
I
So
just
that's what I
really
was. I
described.
mean, that was my motive. It's like childhood motivation with this too, from that perspective,
Yeah.
because that's what I like. So I try to execute that with this film. So yeah, I think the execution. Your comment about execution is pretty spot on because usually when I know what I want, I know how to get there, or I know how to figure out how to get there.
Yeah.
You know, with the film stuff. So yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, let's keep in touch. I wish you the best of success with your next projects, and let's talk again when you make your next film.
All right, sounds great, man. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.